I'm standing in front of the USS Parchie here in downtown Bremerton, but there's another sub that's coming into Sinclair Inlet for the final time this Friday that I gotta tell you about, along with my usual 5 stories on this week's edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast. Stick with us. Welcome back to this edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast, sponsored by the Admiral Theater. Story number 1 today, the USS Bremerton, a fast attack submarine and the oldest in the entire Navy fleet, will be decommissioned here in Bremerton over the next several months. It'll cost about $82 million, and you will have a chance to spot the Bremerton as it comes into the waters of Sinclair Inlet for the final time this Friday. The Bremerton is the second such vessel named for Bremerton in the Navy. The first was a heavy cruiser used during the Korean War. This one, with its retirement, we have no ships named Bremerton, and there are none planned on the horizon. Story number 2 today, in an airtight housing market, many real estate agents resort to creative ways aimed at bringing more properties onto the market. Now, in a healthy real estate economy, you'd have about 4 to 6 months of inventory to work with. Right now, there's less than a month, as demand vastly outpaces supply in Kitsap County. One place that many people go to try to get property are the foreclosure auctions on the steps of the Kitsap County Courthouse. I recently attended one for 2001 Wyoming Street in East Bremerton that rocketed from $208,000 to $266 in the bat of an eye.
Do we have anybody that wants to bid higher than $208,000? 220. 231,000 to number 1. 232,000. Okay, do we have any more? 233, number 5. Higher? 237,000. 245, 500. Okay. 260. 260, number 1. 261. 266, 500. Number 5 is the winning bid. 266, 500.
Story number 3 on the blast this week. Each week, the Bremerton Backpack Brigade makes sure that about 300 Bremerton School District students go home with their bellies full. They send them with a backpack full of food for the weekend. 50 volunteers help make this project go, as it has for the past 6 years.
I was that kid, and I know what that feels like, and the deep, weird shame of it. And I just don't want that to be the case for the kids we serve. We feed those children that have been discerned by the interventionists and the teachers who have a need. They see these kids come in Monday hungry. We send them home with food for the weekend when the free lunches and breakfasts at school are not available to them. These free breakfast and lunch these kids get at school may be the most nutritious meals they get all day, and for a few it may be the only meals they get all day.
Story number 4 this week, deploy the drones. Kitsap County Sheriff's Office recently certified and trained 7 deputies to be able to use quadcopters that they purchased at Costco to be able to investigate crashes, crime scenes, and even search for missing persons.
The use of these platforms allows us to get better images that are higher quality, that have more accuracy, and we can do them in the fraction of the time of what it takes these guys to do now. There are applications where we can use it to assist patrol or assist tactical teams when they're doing warrant services or dealing with barricaded subjects. This tool has great abilities to assist in those scenarios, but the rules don't change for us. They don't change for these systems. The Fourth Amendment still applies. Search and seizure still applies. If we want to go look in a window or we want to go put it inside of a house to help kind of clear a house before a tactical team goes in, we still have to have a search warrant. So it's really no different than a deputy who's got his boots on the ground.
And finally, story number 5 this week. Callow Pawn and Jewelry on Callow Avenue is shutting down after 20 years in business. Longtime owner Dick Maurice, who also ran the El Camino restaurant for 26 years before that, has decided to retire.
Came here in 1978, opened up a restaurant, 26 years, and 20 years here in the pawn shop. Callow has been really good to me. Great people come in the shop, came in the restaurant. I'm going to miss that. You know, the people in this town are great. There's a lot of people who think Callow is taboo. My kids grew up here. Area's changed some, but never had any problem down here. I've had a lot of respect from people in the area. Bremerton has been very, very good to me, and I was just glad that I could give something back to the people of Bremerton.
That's our show for this week, Bremerton. The weather is beautiful. Get out there and go for a hike. And while you're at it, go to the Bremerton Beat blog and vote on your favorite hike on all of the Kitsap Peninsula. We're going to compile them and on an upcoming episode feature the top 5. Enjoy the rest of your week. Music for this week's Bremerton Beat Blast was performed by What's Cookin', a local jam band. They'll be performing live this Friday night at the Silverdale Beach Best Western Hotel.